Welcome to class. We're going to begin with reclined breath so that we can really feel the psoas roll in our torso and get down deep into that awareness right away. So let's come recline on the mat, aiding yourself down by using the hands behind you and then the elbows and draping the spine down, touching down with the back of the skull. Keep the knees bent to begin with to get your alignment of the spine, back of skull to sacrum. And just feel the support of the earth beneath you. Sometimes so lovely to give the spine that extra support so that when we're standing, we have that awareness of that really strong support behind us. Straighten out left leg and right leg. Allow the feet to flop out to the side to begin with so we can close the eyes for a moment, palms to the sky, just noticing the state of our mind, body, spirit right now. The visual distractions minimized. And now we begin that gateway to the practice, which is through our breath, and through the breath, just an awareness of the breath. Notice for 3 rounds, what's the quality of your breath? Is it shallow? Is the temperature cool or warm? Is it traveling into the belly or just the chest? And then notice the vibration of your breath. Is it traveling throughout the body or is it sort of contained? The psoas, the deep muscle that connects our legs and our torso, a whole complex of muscles really, also supports our breath because it's so interlinked to the diaphragm. That diaphragm, which vibrates all of our breath throughout our systems, that central bowl that is almost like an echo of the bowl of the pelvis, but more in the middle of the body. Well, we can bring our awareness to the middle of the body now as we continue our breath. And then we'll take one hand to the belly and one hand to the sternum. So now we can notice that path of our breath into our hands as we inhale. See if you can fill up those hands. And exhale. Feel the drop of the hands, the physical path of the breath. The physical path of the breath following the energy of our bodies as always, but we don't always get to tap in and watch what that path is and how it affects our entire physical shell. One more inhale into those hands. And an exhale, sighing it out. Feeling the vibration, feel free to hum or om as you exhale so you can feel extra vibration there. And now keeping the right hand, let's on the top of the body, we'll just move it down towards the low ribs, that hand. And then the left hand, if you can, if your shoulder allows, let's take the hand to the bottom of the spine. So we're just sneaking the hand underneath the lumbar curve with the palm down. Now, if your shoulder doesn't allow that, that's okay. You can even roll a blanket, a little towel or something you have under it, or not at all. You can just lie there with the awareness on the mid range of the body, right? So now when you breathe in, when you inhale, see if you can expand your waist in all directions into that back hand and into the front hand, into the sides. And then exhale. So feel the expansion of the breath that diaphragmatic breathing. So what we're doing is sending it out in all directions so we can really affect all the coordinating muscles around us, around those diaphragm. Two more rounds of breath here. And as we continue our practice, that awareness, we'll try to keep that awareness of full expansive diaphragmatic breathing. So the diaphragm coordinating with the psoas and their dance, their automatic dance that they do together. And then let's take the hands, flip that left hand around to the bottom of the pelvis, and we're taking, sorry, not the bottom of the pelvis, the bottom of the rib cage. Take both of your hands and the fingertips to the base of the ribs, just inside, so along those exterior core muscles, the abdominal muscles. And as you do that, flex the feet so that we're in a Supta Tadasana. So we're in a Tadasana reclined, that we still imagine that we're standing strong in those feet. And then with your fingers, just notice that connection point at the base of the ribs into those deeper muscles. And then take your fingertips and just trace downward towards the navel, just on the outside of the navel. So what we're doing is we're drawing that path that the psoas takes all the way down. You know, it's deep in there, connecting to those lumbar and thoracic spine, but we're just kind of making that line down the middle to keep that awareness. And then we'll use your fingertips should touch down towards those hip joints, those hip bones that stick out, the ACES bones there. So you notice those hip points. And then slide down a little further towards the inner thighs as they meet the pelvis. So what you're doing, and we can draw that line again, start at the top of the ribs. Sorry, I was words. It's kind of the bottom of the ribs, and then down, slide down towards our pelvis bowl, and then to the top of the thighs. So what you're doing here is just drawing that line so you can keep the awareness as you move. That is our length of that beautiful psoas complex, iliopsoas, that supports all of this flexion, mostly flexion, but then also just supports the stability of the pelvis. Nice. Great. And then we're going to take our arms next to the ears and just expand out. So as you reach through the feet, in those standing feet, and through the fingertips, feel the shoulders rolling down towards the mat, and we're just opening up here. And we'll notice the length we're creating in the torso, right? So already we're changing a bit of the shape of that psoas. And now we're going to do what the psoas really is meant to do, which is flex. So we're going to bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the floor. And that's our transition as we begin to wrap the arms around and go for hugging those knees, exhaling as you do so. If you want to bring the forehead towards the knees, you can for a little bit of core action, or not, it's okay. And then inhale, let's expand again, bring the feet down, and then really reach out long. Inhale. And again, diaphragmatic breathing from here, fill the belly, and then exhale, squeeze it out as we flex and hug the knees. Do this nice and gently, keeping the pelvis stable. Guess what all those muscles are doing, working for us. Okay, and then squeeze in more time. And then come on out. Inhale, arms above the head. This time, link the thumbs into the elbow creases. So you're going to feel the fingertips on the outside of the elbows as you keep those active feet. So use your fingertips to pull up on gently on the upper arms, lifting up. And you can feel it. Of course, this is a horizontal direction above the crown of the head. Inhale. Notice as you pull up, you're encouraging the skin of those upper arms and of the side of your body to stretch. Exhale, and then kind of drop that energy behind you onto the earth. And then inhale again, stretch up, expand, exhale down. And here, with those fingertips encouraging that stretch, we're just going to lean over to the right for a side bend here. Inhaling as you expand that diaphragmatic breathing, especially on the left ribs. Exhale, just settle into the floor in this curved position. Next inhale brings you back to center, and exhale over to the other side to scoot yourself over so that the left, we're leaning to the left, and we feel that expansion on the right ribs. Exploring our biomechanics of breathing. Exhale, settle down to the back body. And then scooch back on up, and then reach the arms up. Just that nice long expanse again. Great. And then sweep the arms next to the body. Nice. And then bend the knees again. We're going to inhale the thigh on the right side towards the chest. And so we're flexing, getting that psoas in its job, right? But we want to also involve all the coordinating muscles around the psoas so that it doesn't have to take all the weight. In doing that, we're going to create some resistance. So take the hands to the top of the thigh. We were doing the back of the thigh the other day. Let's take the top of the thigh. Press into the top of the thigh and then press the thigh into the hands. So really press, press, press in either direction. Breathe as you do so. Hold this with your breath for a few more seconds, and then let go. And then allow that right leg to lengthen out long. So as you do that, just notice the warmth you've created. Really go deep into your awareness of that psoas area, the pelvis, and the connection to the ribs and the lumbar. So we're noticing a little warmth there, perhaps, I hope. And then bend the right knee, and we'll inhale the left knee towards the face. And let's take the hands to the top of the thigh and just press again. Breathe as you do so, but really create resistance in either direction. Maybe another breath here. And then release the leg out long. And then release the other leg out long. So we're noticing bringing the warmth in there so that we can light it up and bring a hidden place into our mind's eye. Great. And now we'll bend the knees again. Bring the sole of the foot to the floor. We're going to lengthen out the right leg long. Keep the arms on the floor. Touch down with your palms. And let's do some leg lifts here. So we're going to lift the right leg up. And you can match the level of the thigh or just lift it up for an inch or two, whatever is right for you. As you do so, see if you can keep that pelvis nice and stable. And as you do this, bring your mind's eye to the glutes so that they're not just not really participating here, but we're feeling that. And then bring your mind's eye down lower to the quads, making sure they're activated. One more lift, and then down. Bend the knee on the right side. Touch down with the right, lengthen out the left. Inhale that leg up and down. And quads and glutes awareness. The glutes are not major players, but some of those side glute medius and other hip flexors are involved here. Up and down, just warming things up. Resistance, strengthening, and stretching. Inhale up and down. And then come down, bend the knees, and we're going to roll over onto the left side. And we're going to bend the knees into our 90-degree format here. So you got your thighs 90 degrees to the torso and your shins 90 degrees to the thighs. All that geometry. Make sure the props are if you have props around, that they're away, so we have a little space here. So we're going to take the right leg. Okay, actually, you can make a pillow for your left ear with your upper arm, or you can just have that arm out front. So we're going to take the flex through the right leg, and we're going to take the knee down towards the bottom of the mat. So you can feel your foot reaching towards that length of the mat behind you, and see if you can take your right hand to that hip bone on the right top side and just kind of notice the stability of the pelvis. Let's flex back and forth here. So bring the knee towards the left one and then back again. Inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you go back. So we're also, again, engaging those glutes. So the bigger muscles around the psoas ideally help the load of the psoas. But when we're stressed and when we react quickly, the psoas tenses up and it really takes a lot to release it. So we're going to try to bring our other players in to the mix here. Inhale as you come forward, exhaling as you go back. So notice as you take the knee towards the bottom of the mat that you're pointing the tailbone towards the bottom of the mat. So we're getting a nice quad stretch. On your next trip where you take the knee towards the bottom of the mat, you can notice that your ankle's behind you. And if your right hand wants to reach back and grab the toes, you can do that. But again, no pressure here to grab the toes. You're just sort of seeing if you can get into that quad stretch, but it is still a quad stretch if you take your tailbone towards the bottom of the mat. Bring the knees together again. And now you can just take your hand to the thigh, to the right thigh, and just support, hugging that knee towards the chest. And then maybe take your hand to the shin, if this allows, just to open the hips slightly so that the knee goes towards the ceiling. So we're just doing a nice hip opener, opening the knee towards the ceiling, and then the knees come together and to the back. And feel free to support the movement with your hands, gently gliding through that right hip socket. If anything here is uncomfortable or pinchy, just take it back a notch. Great. And then come on, close that. Come on to the belly for our transition, and we'll go to the other side. Great. And we're going to come down onto the belly with the forehead to the mat. Take the hands beside the shoulders, and those elbows find the ribs. The tops of your feet find the floor. The toenails find the floor. And the tailbone arrow pointing towards the heels. Pull back with your hands towards your heels. Inhale, grow long and come into a baby cobra. Lift the head off the mat and the shoulders. Come down. Let's do our cobra push-ups here. Lift up and down. Inhale. Notice, remember our diaphragmatic breathing where it was all sides of the waist? Let's try that here. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Feeling more like a snake each time. Graceful and fluid. Beautiful. One more time, inhale up. Take the forearms and slide them forward. We'll take a baby sphinx. By that, I mean just take your spine in a diagonal direction. You're going to take those tops of the toes to the mat, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and point the tailbone towards those heels. So we're going to come and bring our head up so that its back of the skull is in line with the sacrum. But because we're early in our practice, we're just going to take it to the diagonal and not a full sphinx. You can, if you keep this nice alignment, skull to sacrum, just look over towards your right pinky, turn the head, and look over at your left pinky. Just take a nice trip through your neck range. Great. Inhale long, exhale, come down, and then roll over onto your right side. Knees together, and we'll take that on the left leg. Pillow for your ear or just that right arm in front. Left leg is taking that trip back. So the left knee towards the bottom of the mat, keep that left foot active, and then come on back. And just notice that flexing in the beginning, especially pointing that tailbone so we can really draw the energy down the thigh. And again, if you wanted to linger here in the quad stretch and reach back for those toes, you can do that too. Keeping that foot active, we're really drawing that line all the way into those long muscles as we, if we keep our feet active, it allows that tension, healthy tension. As you come forward with your knee, again, we're going to take support on that inner thigh or wherever you'd like and open up the left knee to the sky, closing, and then returning back to that quad stretch. Imagining nice liquid feeling in that hip socket, oil can to the joints. Deep breath along the way. Very nice. And then we're going to come on to we'll slow that down and bring the knees together. And then we're going to come on to our bellies one more time. Make a pillow for your forehead with your hands, or you can just bring the forehead to the mat with the hands above. So from here, let's take 2 deep breaths with our diaphragmatic breathing. Expand all sides of the waist. So this time you can feel that front side, filling the belly. Exhale. And inhale again. Notice perhaps you can take a deeper exhale, longer exhale here. And now pressing down, we're going to take leg lifts here. So pressing down with your hands, really feeling that grounding at the top of the body. We're going to point the tailbone towards the heels. And we're just going to keep the top of the body on the mat, but we're going to lift the legs up. So the heel lifts up towards the sky, lengthen out the right leg, inhale. And exhale down and lift the left leg, inhale. Reaching up towards the sky, exhale down. The path of breath, inhaling as you go up, exhaling as you come down. Noticing, again, those glutes engage. That opposing muscles to the psoas. Taking ourselves out of flexion. And one more rotation. And then down. And then we'll take our hands around towards those shoulders and support ourselves, easing up to an all fours to the tabletop position. Definitely cushion your knees for this sequence. So we're going to come onto our forearm tabletop. So bring the forearms down to the mat after you take care to cushion those shins. The magic formula here, having the knees spilling, the kneecaps spill over the edge of your cushion blanket here so that they're not pressured onto the mat. Love that little trick. Bring the forearms down. And we're going to take the hands and spread the fingers. Index finger pointing towards the top of the mat. Great. Now find your elbows shoulder width. And then bring your awareness into those shoulder blades. We're going to puff the back of the heart up towards the sky, separate the shoulder blades. Dip the head down only slightly, and then we'll bring the shoulder blades together and dip the heart towards the mat. Inhale up, exhale down, find some flexibility. in that possibly tight area of the spine. Up and down. Using the power of that inhale to stretch those muscles, the rhomboids, and then bring shoulder blades together. Oh, so nice to unround ourselves. And then we'll come on back here up to all fours. Nice. And we're going to do a cat-cow vertically. So it's exhale, inhale, tucking the tailbone, snaking up the spine, looking at the knees. And exhaling. If it's easier on your wrist to do this in forearm plank, forearm, you can do that. Stay on those forearms. Whatever tabletop works for you. Come back to a neutral spine. So we're finding our psoas lining up and our diaphragm lining up in this horizontal. Let's do a nice diaphragmatic breathing in this neutral spine. Inhale into that belly. Feel the expansion around all directions. A little more challenging here. Exhaling, noticing as you do that, we get the navel tucking towards the spine because we're contracting through those deep core. Inhale. Exhale. And as you exhale, your core engages. It's just kind of a little core action exercise here. One more breath. Exhale. And now let's take that spine side to side. Ear towards shoulder on the right side, hips towards the ear, and then the other side. Rib, deep rib breathing here on the other side. Swaying. Making sure we have our fluidity in our neck muscles as well. And then come on back to neutral. Curl the right toes under. Let's take a straight leg and rock forward and back. And as you do so, bring your mind's eye to the pelvis and see if you can square off those hips and make them even. Great. And then slow that down, keeping that stability through the pelvis. Again, any point your wrists are sore, you can come to the fists or back to the forearms. Okay, I'm going to take that right side, awareness to the right side, and we're going to take the toes and draw a line over to the left side of the mat, the back left side of the mat, and then look back at your right toes. So we're taking a nice long, keep that left leg nice and stable, and feel that stretch along the right side. Exhale it all out. Inhale back and come back to all fours, and we'll do that on the left side. Curl the toes under, straight leg, and rock forward and back. Should feel good on the hamstrings. And then bring that back to stillness. Inhale. We're going to take that foot the opposite side, so towards the right side, and then gaze at your toes. Feel the back heel and that beautiful arc all the way up the spine to the crown of the head. And then come on back with your next exhale. Beautiful. And we're going to come and transition to our front lunge. So we're going to take that, curl the toes on the right side back straight again. And then curl into cat as you bring the right knee towards the front and towards the hands. Help that right foot up towards in between the hands. So here we are in a squared off lunge, right? So we still got our grounding energy through that back shin and through the top of the foot. And our other anchor here is our right foot. Spread the toes and lengthen the spine towards the crown of the head, and reaching that energy towards like 5 feet above the crown of your head. So towards the wall of your room. Just noticing that length of the spine. And then begin to drop your right hip. So if the right hip has started to hike up, see if you can just drop it down. And then we'll bring our hands to the front thigh and come on up to vertical. Okay, press the hands into the thigh and try to press the thigh up into the hands. I know it's a little kind of an energetic motion there, but that will bring you into a more even through the hips, more evenness through the hips, and then dropping the tailbone. Little tricks of the trade. So let's again engage that psoas as well. Exhale, find your anchor here. Great. And then begin to creep that front foot forward just an inch or two and slide the hips a little bit forward so that we're really getting a stretch on that left quad. Still pointing the tailbone towards the earth. Inhale, grow tall as you take the arms next to the ears. Really, really reach up and then take hands into prayer so you can have that extra closure up there above you, above that crown of the head. Feel the length on the left side here already. Exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears as the right arm drops towards the right hip. Pressing through the back foot and the shin will really warm up that quad, and then lean over to the right. Stable pelvis, stable hips, fluid mid and upper spine, ear towards shoulder, luxurious side bend here. Yes. Nice. And then sweep that right arm, hands meet, trace the line down the center towards your heart. So find your center. And then sweep the hands around the front foot. Great. And then draw the knee back. Take the knees apart, and we'll just take a little break here, bringing the hips back to the heels, reaching the arms out long, touching down forehead to the mat. Inhale through the back body. Exhale. Great. Inhale back up through a cat, feeling the length of your spine there. Beautiful. Twirl the left toes under, lengthen out momentarily. Inhale and exhale, bring the knee towards the hands and help that foot up to our squared off lunge. Find your anchor, reach the crown of the head towards the wall of your room or beyond that even, and lengthen the spine, square that left hip off, bring it down towards the earth, and come on up with the hands on the front thigh. Draw the tailbone down, really getting into our micro movements here. Press the hands into the thigh, thigh into the hands. Feel that engagement along even the glutes wake up there. Exhale, inhale the arms next to the ears, prayer position above the head, pressing through the back foot, length on the right side. Exhale the left hand down towards the hip and drop the arm and lean over to the left. Keeping that foundation, that little bridge effect you're making with those legs. Oh, I forgot the little creep forward, but sorry about that. We're still there. Drop the left ear toward the left shoulder. And then sweep the arm back up. Let's take them to prayer again above the head. Trace that line down the center. So past your third eye, throat, heart. Oh, so nice. And then arms out in our wingspan. And draw the knee back again. And let's see. Oh, yeah, great. And then we'll take the hands down to the mat. Curl the back toes under as we come up toward downward dog, lifting the knees off the mat. Keep the knees bent. Before you go into that, move the blanket off of your mat. And then bring the hands down. Again, if you're comfortable keeping the knees bent at first, that's fine. Bringing the ribs to the thighs, really reaching out through the arms. Inhaling the length of the spine, drawing the arms towards each other. Pedal your feet. Hamstring, easing into that stretch of the hamstrings. Up and down. Beautiful. And then let's take both tiptoes nice and even and reaching with that tailbone up towards that diagonal direction. Easing the tension in the face or the neck. And then see how far your heels can come down. Imagine just getting some help from those hips pulling in that diagonal direction. Optimizing this downward dog. It's a full body pose, right? It's like got the anchors of the hands and the feet, but lots of lengthening out through those back body muscles. And then bend the knees, walk the hands towards the feet. I meant walk, I think, well, let's do that. Why not walk the hands towards the feet as I do the opposite? Come to the bottom of the mat, hang the head down, bend the knees, and just look upside down. Shake the head yes and no. Feel the traction of the neck, of the head helping the neck, and then take the fingertips to the mat. Inhale into a flat back with your knees bent, and then drop it down, release through an exhale. If you need to use blocks underneath the hands, feel free to do that. What we really want here is not like super, oh wow, I'm super flexible, but just getting that snaking action through the spine. And if you want to take the leg straight, you can do that for hamstrings. But if you have lower back issues, I would just recommend staying with the knees bent. Inhale into a flat back. And then we're going to sit back, take the fingertips to the floor, just so you can support that sit back. Imagine squeezing a block or actively squeeze a block between your thighs if you'd like. Great, and we're in that super flexion that the Psoas is built to do. So let's sweep the arms behind the body, reaching up behind us towards the sky, and then sweep them back and then up to the ears, and let's peel those ribs away from the thighs. Finding that diaphragmatic breathing here in our chair pose. Inhale, exhale, keep the knees behind the toes. Great, stand up, into mountain, reaching up tall. Keep the arms next to the ears and take the right hand, grab the left wrist, lean over to your right. Sweep back up with a deep breath to the left hand grabs the right wrist, and we encourage that body leaning over to the left. Come back up, sweep the arms down next to the body, strong mountain pose. Let's find that diaphragmatic breathing just as standing, because we all have to do this so often standing in lines or wherever. We can take a strong reminder of how we can stand. So let's spread those toes. So we have a beautiful footprint. Draw the energy up through the middle of the legs. Then notice the glutes engaged. We have a slight tilt in the pelvis. Let's take the palms out away from us. Open up those shoulders and then bring the palms towards the body, and notice that openness that maintains across the collarbones, right? Draw the lower ribs in. There we go. There's the diaphragm. There's the psoas connection. Inhale. to that diaphragm. All directions. Exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Wow, we feel hopefully an inch taller. So nice. Let's come to the center of the mat with the long edges on the side. We're going to take a twist. We have been not too twisty today. So let's take the feet to the mat gently, soft bend the knees, and we're going to take our Tai Chi twist. So arms out in our around that vertical axis, helicopter style arms, waking up those energy channels. Tap the shoulder, tap the back of the ribs if you can. So this is a gentle twist. We're staying soft in the knees and the pelvis just gently following the mid and upper spine. Gaze back behind you. And then gently slow it down. So we're taking that same gradual path back to the center. So nice. So let's come out to our long stance here, wide stance with our toes in parallel. Great. And let's grab a block nearby. Take it to the right side of the body. Nice. And then we'll take the toes over to the right, and we're taking our proud warrior stance, front heel aligned with back arch. And the angle of that back foot up to you. It could be aligned with the back of the mat or 30 or 45 degrees. Okay, in these poses, we want the hips ideally to be angled forward, right? And we have that very deep psoas roll here in our triangle and side angle. But we want to make sure that we take as if we had a window in front of us and a window behind us, but it's really not super strict. So if the hips are kind of on that diagonal, that's okay. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale deeply, exhale, find the anchor of your feet, draw them together. Good. And then reach the right arm up towards the sky. We're just going to take a nice lengthen along our right side, keeping the hand on the left hip. Let's reach up towards the sky and lean back towards that left foot. Gazing up at your hand if you can. So nice. And then with that length, we're hinging back and reaching out into our triangle. So making our spine super long. We're going to reach down towards that block, keeping the left hand on that left hip. So at this point, you might notice that the left hip dips towards that diagonal angle. See if you can gently encourage it to open up as you press strongly through the feet and encourage that right quad to engage. Open up the heart, then take the left thumb to the left armpit and see if you can lengthen out that side even more, and then lift up towards the sky joyously, brightly in this triangle. Breathe into that middle, right? So we're coming into that diaphragmatic breathing in the whole other angle. Exhale. See if you can involve those lower abs. And then take the left arm next to left ear. So we really lengthen out here. Exhale, find the feet again. Draw that left shoulder away from the ear. And then with that strong base, now this is extra challenge if you want it. If not, it's okay. You can lift that right arm next to right ear. Drawing away from the pelvis. Now touch back down. Great. Sweep. Let's draw a rainbow with the left arm. Sweep on back up to our other side. Switch the block. So just putting our middle and that psoas in so many different directions and involving all the other big muscles today. Left toes to the side. Great. Take our proud warrior prep. Right hand to right hip, lift the left arm up towards the sky, lean back towards that right foot and look up at your hand, feeling the left side expand. Brighten up. And then reach, keeping that length, reach towards the other side of the room, the other side of the world, whatever, and bring the left hand down to the block. Engage the left quads, keeping the hand on the hip. See if you can guide that navel towards the front. And then lift the right arm up, right hand into right armpit, lengthen, lengthen, and then lengthen the collarbones. Inhale, exhale. Right arm toward right ear. Really long side bend here and beautiful shape. Draw the right shoulder away from the right ear. Feet together. If you want the challenge of both arms reaching to the side, give that a try. Notice your glutes engage here. Don't let them get lazy. And then reach the right arm up. Draw the rainbow up. Ah, great. Now we're going to take a little more challenging, which is the side angle. Same foot action here in our base. Reaching up with that right arm again, hand on left hip. We're going to bend the right knee towards the middle two toes as we guide our left foot back. And we are in this angle, side angle prep. So reach up towards the sky, lengthen, lengthen, and lengthen out. You can take your right elbow to the right thigh or reach down for that block on the outside of that foot. Now take the left hand at that left hip joint and you'll notice probably some diagonal action there. See if you can point that tailbone towards the back heel and open yourself up, open the heart, open up towards the front. And now press the elbow into the thigh and the thigh into the elbow, that action. Notice when you do that energetically, do you feel things strengthen and wake up along the way? I hope so. Next inhale takes the left arm toward left ear. Roll the shoulder away from the ear as you take the palm behind you. This should, I hope, feel more grounded than ever before. Take your gaze up towards the sky if you can. Excellent. I see those arms out there. Sweep into that rainbow and come on back up. Side angle. So just practicing those micro movements to really enliven our poses along the way and recruit all those big muscles. Take the block to the other side. Proud warrior stance. Inhale that left arm for our salute to our amazing sky above. And then exhale, bend the left knee toward those middle two toes, adjust your back foot. Find your beautiful foundation, just like our bridges have foundations. Exhale, hinge over, reach, 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 reach. Find left elbow to left thigh or find the block. And notice with the hand on the hip, if there's some diagonal action on that right hip, see if you can draw that energy forward. Just encourage that direction. Take your time, energize the feet together. And now press that elbow into the thigh, thigh into the elbow, or even if you're on the block, press, 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 and notice that engagement. Inhale, right arm next to right ear. Exhale, the shoulder away from the ear. Inhale, the palm back behind you. Exhale, look up at the sky, turn the head. Feel the heart opening here. Inhale, diaphragmatic breathing. Free it up. And then just draw that rainbow up. Oh, so beautiful. Take the feet to parallel. And if you want to take the block beneath your face, you can do that and bring the hands down there. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Just let's look up Imagine something beautiful falling in between your hands, beautiful energy ball of health, energy, positivity, and then sweep in front of you like you're just trying to finger paint in front of you, way out there in the universe, and then bring the palms down to the block, or just bring the fingertips to the floor. So we have a long spine in that horizontal direction, flat spine. And from here, we're going to try to cat-cow, keeping that base strong through the feet. Let's inhale, tuck the tailbone, and look back behind you. Inhale, exhale, tailbone up. Snake through the spine, and then just give a soft gaze upwards at the end there. Another few times in cat-cow in this wide stance. If you're on that block, just press into that block. Beautiful. Take the left palm down to the mat, to the floor or the block. Inhale, the right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky. Take a twist. Oh, traveling on the full length of the spine, and then down, right hand down, and left hand to heart, elbow to the sky. Come on down, lower as we lower ourselves down to the earth. Take the block to the side, heel toe your feet in, keeping the knees nice and soft. And then bring the knees down to our tabletop as we come down to the mat. Figure 4 twist. So ease yourself down. Inhale the right knee towards the chest, circle the ankle. Don't forget our little micro walking muscles. Take the right ankle over the left thigh. More resistance here. Take your right hand to the right thigh and give that counter pressure. So we can find alignment in our hips in this figure 4. Sacrum wakes up. Oh, here I am, aligned with the skull. And then let go. Great. And then let's see if we can reach the back of that left thigh and press into the hand, keeping that left foot nice and active. Imagine just pressing that left foot into a wall for more energy. Take the left foot to the sky for a hamstring stretch. And press, again, continue that counter pressure with the hands into the thigh. You see how that communicates to the torso right away. And then bring that foot down. We'll roll over onto our left side. Right foot lands down. The left knee towards the bottom of the mat. And we can take the right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky, and twist. Open up, cactus arm, reaching across full length on the right side. But we want to see that the pelvis stays perpendicular to the mat. Left hand can grab right ankle and just guide that knee, open and close a little inch or two, just like a swinging door in the breeze. If this bothers anybody's knees, they can just go into a regular twist. Come back to that breath. And then we'll take our trip to the other side, coming back up to all fours. Oh, did I say that? Figure 4. Unwind. Inhale the left knee towards the face, circle the ankle. Thank you. Left ankle, right thigh. Left hand on left thigh. Press, counter press. And let go. And then reach for the right thigh. Press, counter press, and hands to thigh. And then reach that right foot up towards the sky, drop into that femur. That's that connection point to our psoas, the top of the leg. Bend the knee, bring the right foot down to the floor, roll over onto your right side. Left foot lands down nice and strong. Right hand to left ankle, left hand to heart, elbow to sky, opening up to our twist. So we're creating that twist along the spine, squeezing out the organs. Cleansing our breath through the breath. Sway the knee side to side if you'd like. Great. Come on back to figure four. And then hug the knees to the chest again. Bring the forehead to the knees. And then reach long out, arms above the ears. Find the length here. Come back to center, sweeping the arms down next to the body. And then allow the feet to flop out to the side. Squeeze the shoulder blades together underneath the body and then drape the shoulders down. Melt. Come back to your breath. Inhale into the belly, all directions of the waistline. Exhale. Is there warmth? More warmth in that deep breath area. Giving ourselves the time to visit those deeper places that support us. Deep core. Deep breath. Feel that strength and stability radiate out to the rest of the body. The arms and the legs, the mid and upper spine. Take their next inhale all the way to the feet. As you exhale, allow the mind's eye to scan the entire body all the way up, shins, the thighs, the pelvis, up the spine to the crown of the head, down the arms. Inhale again into the feet, another body scan with your exhale. And again, feel that beautiful vibration that you've created with movement, with breath together, coordinated, harmonized. Radiating through the fingers and toes. Let's wiggle the fingers and toes. Wrists and ankles. Bend the knees and the elbows. rolling onto your right side away from the heart, supporting the breath. Come on back up to a seated position. Thanks for journeying with me through our Psoas today. Hands at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Thanks so much for sharing the practice with me today, and always namaste.